I'm going to show you how our client Landon Brazile was able to scale his business profitably by hiring just 3 remote team members, not having to pay for any fancy schmancy funnels and overspending on paid ads, but actually being able to scale with just 3 people profitably. And the coolest part is everyone is remote. If he was hiring these people in the US, he would be paying 5 times the price, because these are elite A players that can come in from day one and make a difference. Okay, so this is his website. This is a little bit about his YouTube that's starting to explode. This is one of my favorite success stories, by the way, guys. So Landon Brazile is the founder of ZFIN, and ZFIN is a real estate tech platform built for short-term rental operators. Think like Airbnb investors in a sense. So instead of cold calling landlords and doing all this fancy work that nobody else wants to do, what they do, which is really, really cool, is that they have a database of pre-approved rental properties, and it's much faster, scalable, and growing like crazy. They actually have over 400 new listings per month across 193 cities across all the US, basically, which is pretty cool. Now that kind of volume creates a lot of problem, right? Because you have demand and you have high supply, then you have high demand, which is great, but then the supply, right? And we need to find the people that actually can do this. And with high demand comes pressure, especially on sales, onboarding, support, customer service, and many other aspects. So Landon came with us with an opportunity because he does not want to go crazy. Because when you build a business, you're not there to do the job yourself. You're building a business so you can build wealth and also find a way to scale without being involved in every single aspect of the business. Nothing great was built alone. This is why every single company that we're using or we look up to has a team, right? From bottles to PlayStation, I mean, you name it, every single huge company has a team. This is why it's so critical to hire the right people in the beginning and later on, and every single time you're growing. So keep that in mind. A little bit about ZFIN is they talk about here, ready to locate your next approved Airbnb seamlessly, connect with property owners without owning. So this is pretty cool. Anybody that wants to get into the Airbnb business, it's blowing up slowly but surely. I mean, a lot of people are actively using this, and he's been doing this business for a few years now. Actually, Landon and I first met in a coaching program that I used to sell for. So him and I were already aware of each other, but at the time I was not servicing non-agency owners, and this is more than just an agency. As you can see, this is like this is basically a SaaS company, which is pretty cool. So let's dive in. We talked a little bit about their YouTube and ZFIN here. So I want to talk about the 3 roles because these are 3 pivotal roles that when you hire correctly, number 1, you can see growth. Number 2, you're actually able to remove yourself from the day-to-day of the roles that you have here. And number 3, ultimately, it's all about execution. It's all about finding a way to continuously growing and scaling the company. So the first person that Landon hired from us was Chris, who's a remote closer. He brought in Chris at about $1,500 per month base plus commission. So we're looking at about $8 an hour, $7 to $8 an hour. Could be a little bit more if you include the commissions. And his job was to handle 100 plus inbound leads per day. Okay, so I want you to picture this. There's 100 plus leads coming in every single day, and Landon was the one doing these calls, right? So while he's trying to grow the business, while he's trying to grow his YouTube channel that has over 11,000 subscribers, while he's doing the partnerships and working the tech and making sure everything's working smoothly, he also has to do the calls. And this is where he wanted to remove himself first and foremost from the sales aspect, right? And that's why he hired Chris. And Chris was able to not only come in and crush it, but he came in and fucking slayed it, guys, literally, because he did so well and he started closing deals on a regular basis from the jump that Landon was forced to hire a second closer. That's right, a second closer, Manuel. Okay, and he hired him, I believe, within just a couple months, which is pretty cool because that tells us that number 1, the first hiring worked out, and number 2, the company is actually growing. That is our ultimate mission and vision. We want to help companies grow and scale with remote hirings in the most profitable way possible. So that means if you come back to us to hire more people, we've done our job and beyond, because now you're coming back as a returning client. Now your LTV to us is much more meaningful because you're coming back and hiring more and more people from us. And for those of you who don't know, our model is based on people coming back and hiring more people because we only get paid one-time flat fee for each and every single hiring. So Manuel was able to come in. They started closing much more deals together and really fully remove Landon from closing at this point. However, well, guess what? The more clients you have, now you've got to serve them. It's great that you were able to sell people. That's the first step. But the second step is to actually be able to serve them and to be able to provide them actual real life value. And this is where the third hiring came in. Angela, who's the account manager. And to be honest with you, she might be the MVP because there's 2 closers and there's 1 account manager, which means that all the deals that the closers are getting are going to Angela on a regular basis. And although she's not the quote unquote cheapest person, she does have a 2,400 base, which is about $12 an hour. She's managing tons of accounts. She's basically doing the job of 3 or 4 people in one role. So instead of hiring just a bunch of like $800, $1,000, $1,200 people, Landon did the right thing by hiring a true A player that can take on multiple accounts with Angela and be able to scale with her, right? His vision is to be able to continue growing and scaling the company with his closers and also make sure that Angela is there to maintain. So while Chris and Manuel are both closing deals on a regular basis, in order for the client to get fulfilled, in order for clients to have customer success, in order for the clients to make sure that they actually get what they're paying for, this is where Angela comes in. This is why we actually picked her as the MVP, because without her, the sales are irrelevant, okay? The sales are just a percentage of the business, a big percentage, but there's just a percentage of the entire pie. And she has the other side of the pie, which is the account management, client success, support, customer service, and so on and so forth. And here's what's interesting, right? So you can see how the structure has changed. Before, everything was reactive. Landon was jumping into sales calls himself. Operations was messy. Clients were getting lost. He was selling people. Then you have to also launch them and make sure they're taken care of. And it's just taking a lot of time away from the CEO, right? In the beginning, it's totally okay for you to do that because you're learning how to do it. But as you grow and scale and you've done the job for, a couple months at this point, even a couple months is long, you now want to start removing yourself from this. And there's 2 things you want to do when you remove yourself. Number 1 is have a system and a process in place. And number 2 is hire the right people, right? And thankfully, because Landon has done the job himself long enough, he was able to create and perfect and really master the system, which is why when he brought on Chris and Manuel, the first closers, he was able to remove himself much faster than a lot of people do. Because what happens a lot of times is people don't remove themselves from the process because they don't have a process. So everything is done randomly. There's no strategy. There's no intentionality. And then maybe you hire the right people, but guess what happens next? Because you hire the right people, but you don't have the system, either you have to build a system with them and you're basically paying them to build the system with you, or they're like, what the heck? This guy's no system, no process. I'm out. I'm a true A player. I'm not here to build your system. I'm here to close freaking deals. And if you don't have what I need, why would I be here? While another company offered me the same, by the way, they also have a system and a process. This is why it's super duper important. So you can see now it's much structured. There's a real sales pipeline. So there's real closers, which means that he was able, once again, to remove himself from a lot of the day-to-day. And obviously with the clean onboarding that Angela helps out, and everybody's remote, which is pretty awesome. So he gets to save a lot of money on the offshore talent. And while they're getting paid pretty good money, making $2,400, wherever Angela is, I'm not too sure, but I'm assuming she's in a Latin American country, is pretty freaking good money. That is like much higher above average, especially here in Colombia. I live in Medellin, Colombia myself, and the average person here makes $200 to $300 a month. The average bilingual person makes $500 a month. And we like to start people at $1,000 a month. So if Angela is making $2,400, that means she's making 6 to 7 times more than the average person makes here, which is unbelievable. Actually, even more if you think about it. So, that being said, Landon said something that stuck with me. It stuck with me and my team. And that thing is, you guys just get it. I don't have to explain much. You already know what I need. And the reason is because, number 1, we've done this for almost 5 years. Number 2, when we have our sales call, we actually learn about the business. But we also have a launch call where we build the job description with you. We help understand what is your culture like, what are your core values, what is your vision, what is your mission, almost as if like we want to work for you, right? The better we understand the business, the more we're actually able to present you the right candidates. And again, we've done this over 1,500 times at this point, which means that we've really perfected this. And Landon is 100% right. He knows that we not only get it, but we already have what he wants. We are already recruiting every single day, every hour of every day. We have paid ads running. We have job postings out. We have affiliates that are coming our way. We have a lot of people that want to work with our clients for 2 reasons. 1, we provide them a remote opportunity. And 2, most likely we're paying them better than their previous role. And a lot of them are coming from office jobs, working in restaurants and so on and so forth. And now they're getting a chance to work remotely, 1, and they get to earn more money than they've ever earned before. It is the ultimate win-win scenario. So the foundation we built with every client, not just because we're just tossing resumes at you, but we're truly aligning with you. We want to put ourselves in the shoes of the client. We want to put ourselves in the shoes of the business owner and the candidate, not just the client, in the business owner's shoes and the candidate shoes. Now, why is that important? That is important because if we only have one perspective, which is just the business owner, we're going to screw up with candidates. And if we only have the candidate perspective, we're going to screw up with business owners. This is how we've been able to win month over month for the last several years. Actually, as I'm recording this video, it's May 4th. For the last 8 months, we've hit our hiring goal because we are professional matchmakers. And matchmaker is two ways. It's one person here and one person here. It's a business owner and the candidate. And the coolest part about our process is we not only give options to the client by presenting them multiple candidates, we also give the candidate multiple options with clients. And guess what happens then? It is a match made in heaven because we're not forcing the client down the candidate's throat and vice versa, the candidate down the client's throat. We want people to have option. People with options tend to normally win. Right? Now, we don't go over crazy and we present people 30 job options and 30 candidates, but we keep it at a minimal rate because we also do so much investigation and research and ultimately vetting of both the business owner and of the candidate. So now Landon was able to actually remove himself from a lot of the processes and he's able to actually grow his business successfully. And he actually shot us a YouTube testimonial video that you guys can check out on our YouTube page. So let's find out for a second, right? So ZFIN didn't just scale because they threw more money at ads. Let's make that very clear, right? Sure, it helped, but that wasn't the case because if Landon was having to still take sales calls and do the account management and God knows what else, he would only be able to go so far, right? And he would only be able to go so far without going crazy. Because you don't want to go crazy. You did not start this business to go crazy. So here's what Landon unlocked. Number one, remote talent. So not just VAs, elite remote talent. So not just VAs, not just virtual assistants, but true closers that can come in and close a deal, right? True account managers that can come in and take over any form of client, whether it's a client that makes a lot of money, a client that's brand new, a client that's just getting started, whatever the case may be. Number two, Landon had role clarity, but with our help, we were able to go in depth into the day-to-day of this role, both roles, both the account manager and the sales closer. And together we were able to create a powerful job description that's also attractive, right? You want to do two things. You want to attract the talent and you also want to make sure they're getting vetted. You don't want to just take hundreds and hundreds of interviews. You want to attract the right talent and you want to make sure that people get vetted. Number three, fast matchmaking and onboarding. So within days, Landon was on interviews and within a couple weeks, he actually hired his first closer. And every time he's come back to us, we've been able to hire him someone within literally 2 to 3 weeks, which is pretty awesome. And then last but not least, long-term team building, okay? These are not just temps. These are not interns. These are not $3, $4 an hour people. These are not people that barely speak English. These are literal pros that Remote Latinos is very lucky that they live here in Latin America, in Colombia, Venezuela, wherever, because if they were in the US, they would be getting paid 3, 4, 5, 6, 7K a month. Not even joking. But because we have an opportunity to help them out here in Colombia or wherever it is, we're able to pay them a lot less, which is still a lot of money here, right? This is why a lot of people outsource in the Philippines, outsource in Africa, wherever the case may be, right? Because you're able to pay them more, but it's still a lot less than paying a person in the USA, right? Or Canada, for instance. So we're just getting started with Landon. I'm really excited. He's actually going to be coming back for more talent. And I hear actually if he's watching this video, he's going to be in Medellin, Colombia. So I'm going to connect with him. We'll probably even shoot a video together just to hear about his experience from a CEO to a CEO perspective. And I'm really excited to be able to continuously share ideas with you guys about how to hire and why hiring remote team members, especially here in Latin America, that understand our culture, speak perfect English, they're on the same time zone, and hell, I live here in Colombia. A lot of our clients that have hired in Colombia, they've actually came down to visit Colombia and came down to meet a lot of their team members, which to me is one of the coolest parts in the world. Not only do we connect an amazing company with a great elite person in terms of their skill sets and vice versa, they also, a lot of them have actually met their team members because they get to travel and they want to meet people, because at the end of the day, we are humans, and there is a level of determination and a level of wanting to meet someone in person that it feels a lot better, right? There's one thing that I love about, the one thing I would say I love, quote unquote, about office work is you build a closer camaraderie and it's a lot easier to build a culture. However, in today's day and age, it is absolutely not necessary. All you really need is a great company and great people. If you do that, working remotely, working in office, doesn't matter, because there's a lot of companies that are complete pieces of you-know-what, and they're in person. And vice versa, there's companies that are you-know-what, remotely. So if you have the right company, you have the right team, the right structure, right core values, SOP, system, processes, and you find the right talent, which is what we help you with, you're gonna blow up and you're gonna grow and scale and hopefully live your dream life. So we talked a little bit about us, but if you're a founder, agency owner, operator, whatever the case may be, and you're micromanaging and you're doing a lot of the stuff yourself, insane. You want to build a sales team, you need to hire professionals that have done it. We've done this a lot of times for a lot of different businesses, whether they're just getting started or they're doing multiple 7 figures per month. And we specialize in closers, appointment setters, video editors, graphic designers, and executive assistants. So if it's any of these 5 roles, go ahead and head over to remotelatinos.com and schedule a call with our team where we can actually walk you through the process of what we did for Landon, see if it's a good fit for you. And if it is, we're going to partner up and we're going to present you candidates within 1 to 2 weeks maximum for you to be able to hire someone even this month. Okay, so guys, I appreciate you so much. Shout out to Landon, unbelievable client. My team only speaks really good things about him, and I'm excited to continue helping him grow and scale as time goes on. I'm not expecting him to hire 45 people from us, but there will be a time where he's gonna be hiring more account managers, more closers. Maybe he's gonna get more into, even dive deeper into his content game. He has 11,000 subscribers, subscribe to his YouTube channel. Maybe you want some editors, designers, maybe an executive assistant, and who knows, you know, we're gonna continue expanding our positions here shortly. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds with Landon and ourselves. And again, if you're looking for a closer or executive assistant or appointment setter, cold caller, head over to remotelatinos.com and let us talk with you and see exactly how we can help you. And thank you guys so much for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.